So after that $3,000 2019 clean title car and the $1,000 clean title cars, a lot of people were divided. Some of y'all said that they were steals, some said that they were disasters. So today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I decide if a cheap auction car is actually worth the risk and why most people lose money even when the price looks good. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into the video. If you need some gas, all right, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my 5 initial signs that I look into a vehicle to determine whether or not the vehicle is worth the risk or not. Now, keep in mind, these are just the things that I normally look at, and I just gotta go ahead and let you guys know this does not make you bulletproof. So even by doing this here, you still have a chance of buying a lemon, but this here drastically reduce that chance of you buying a lemon. So with that being said, let's go ahead and tag into number one.
Number 1.
Number one, the title status. Okay. Titles tells you the car's history. It does not tell you the car's condition. Okay. Clean title just simply means that the insurance never declared it totaled, but it could still have been an accident. And it also could still have some hidden damages or hidden issues. Take, for example, this Ford Fusion right here. As you can see, it is clearly missing an entire bumper. It is missing a headlight and much other parts. But this here is a clean titled vehicle. That does not mean that this car here has not been in an accident or have had some type of issues that went wrong with it. Okay? And take into considerations this BMW, this M3, it is a salvage title, which means that the insurance company said that the cost for this car was too much. Now, the cost of the car being so much could obviously mean that it wasn't the car's overall condition, but it could have mean that the labor was the thing that kept it so high, which is the reason why insurance companies declared it a total loss. If you know how to put a bumper together, you know how to do some painting, or you have a lot of patience and don't really need to get things done immediately right off the bat, this here could be a perfect and awesome buy for you. And a rebuild title just means that it was previously salvaged and the car has been repaired and had been inspected and was deemed safe to drive on the road. Okay, the simple analogy from all of this here is to understand the title status. Okay, clean title is like a clean medical record. Okay, it doesn't mean that the person is perfectly healthy. That makes sense. Just take in this 2019. This is a Honda Civic, okay? And just as you can clearly see, this one here has some damages done to it. But just because it's labeled clean doesn't mean that it's perfect. And this car here could also have some hidden damages.
Number 2.
All right, and number two, it's going to be bolt-on versus skeleton. Okay, bolt-on damage is usually safer. This here is stuff that's like bumpers, hoods, fenders, and headlights. You may also require a few dings, a few dents, even stuff like repairing headlights. Simple stuff is what bolt-on damage really is. Structure damage is usually a bit more on the danger zone side. Okay, this is frame rails, pillars, suspension mounts, airbags, all those kind of things is considered the danger zone. Danger zone requires people with at least a little bit more experience and who knows how to repair the problems that is going on with the vehicle. So it's highly recommended that if you really don't know what you're doing, if you've never installed an airbag, don't buy a car with a blown airbag. Do not buy a car with frame damage if you don't know how to repair those type of things. That there is considered the danger zone. And you got to understand, cosmetic damage makes money. Structural damage eats profit.
Number 3.
Okay, number 3, engine and transmission risk. Okay, this is the worst case thinking, is what I usually try to put myself into. When I look at an auction car, I don't ask, what if everything works? I ask, what if something breaks? So I'm going to give you guys an example. You turn around and you see a car and you hear the engine knocking. Okay. Engine knocking could be something as simple as it needs oil. It could be, a loose lug or a loose bolt. It could be something simple. But I never ever paint my picture as of it being something simple. If I catch a transmission slipping, I don't sit there and say that, well, maybe it just needs some transmission fluid. Even if I do see a transmission, fluid light coming on the dash, or it's saying low transmission fluid, I don't automatically assume that that is what is wrong. I often put in the worst case scenario. Warning lights, rough idling, all of those things can really paint a really big picture. So let's say, for example, the car is $3,000 and you wind up buying it, and it's the transmission is slipping and slipping, and you find out that the transmission fails. You buy a transmission for $3,000, right? Well, it costs you $3,000 to fix it. Let's say that. So you just bought a car for $6,000, basically. That's not where you want to be. Okay. Whenever you look at something, and if I was to look at a car and I was to hear the engine knocking, how much does an engine cost? And I want to be well below that budget price. So then, if it is an engine that's wrong with it, I have enough money to replace it. And not only that, but also have plenty of money to make really good profit. You have to understand things of this nature. This here is something that really mess up new buyers.
Number 4.
Number 4, sold versus asking price. This is a mistake that even experienced people make. A lot of people look at what a car is listed for. I look for what a car actually sold for. Now let me explain. There are things that affects a car's value, as we obviously already know. Mileage, trim level, accident history, etc. These things affect whether or not a car is going to sell for a certain price or whether it's going to sell for a lot less price. And even when you see things like that, just because you look online and you see a Jeep Wrangler, or you see something like this Corvette Stingray, and you see this Corvette Stingray and the asking price is 27, that does not mean that that's what this car is going to sell for. Okay, and it doesn't mean that that's what the car that you purchase that you could sell it for. The best option for you is to make sure that you are well below your competitors so that you can attract more eyes and that you can have a better chance into selling your car. Okay, a 2019 Toyota Camry might sell for 18K, but with the high mileage and the base model might only sell for 14K. Okay, the thing that you need to understand is hope is not a pricing strategy.
Number 5.
And number 5, the surprise budget. Okay, now this one here, at auctions, sometimes the unexpected almost always show up. You think sometimes repairs are going to be somewhere between like $1,500, but in reality, it might be like 23. So you want to do what I like to call the buffer rule. What is the buffer rule? Quite simple. If the deal only works perfectly, it's not a deal. Okay? So think about this here. If you purchase a car for $3,000, repairs is $2,000, which is a total of $5,000. The resale value is $6,000, which means your profit is $1,000. That $1,000 cushion protects you from surprises. You want to be well below that number. Okay, you want to make sure that just because you estimated the cost of repairs, and the cost of repairs is at best case that $1,500 mark, you want to assume that repairs are going to actually be $2,300. That's how you keep yourself protected from the unexpected. The unexpected will normally always come up and bite you in the bottom. So when you're at the auction, remember this: the cheapest car isn't always the best deal. The real deals are the cars that look scary online but have problems you can actually fix. If you can learn how to read the damage, check the history, and stay disciplined with your bids, that's where the money is. I've made mistakes buying cars from auctions, and I've also found some crazy good deals. So I'm curious, what's the best deal you've ever seen at an auction? Or the worst mistake you've ever made? Drop it in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos on how to find good cars at places like Copart, IAAI, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care.